Entire game only took me about 2 days to complete. I think I got enough to do. I'm going to hit Dead Space 3 next. The reason I decided to take a break from Dark Souls and Bioshock is that they all have to be recorded at a different sound level. Dead Space 1, Dead Space 2, and most likely Dead Space 3 all will be recorded at the same sound because they all have the same basic mechanics. Same thing with like Metro or Metro Last Light when I get around to it. Bioshock, Bioshock 2, and Bioshock Infinite. I always do a pre-audio test before I start recording, but in a nutshell, it totally would take away the point. If I were to continue going back to Dark Souls, I'd have to readjust my audio, you know, to do Dead Space 3 again. I'd have to readjust my audio to do Bioshock. And the last time I did Bioshock, I lost 3.5 hours of recording footage, which, you know, it considering that you break that down into 10 to 15 minute parts, and you're recording for 3.5 hours, and then you spend another 3 or 6 hours editing it, depending on the software, and then however long it takes YouTube to upload it, you know, it takes. People say doing YouTube videos is easy. It's not. Not when you have so much money and so much software to get the job done. You do what you gotta. I actually go through all my footage and watch every single piece of it and break it down according. I don't really cut anything, but then again, I don't really. I will be cutting out a couple parts though. If only I could have like a cover edit kind of program that would allow me to edit some of the audio. Aside from, wow. Because ArcSoft Showbiz does not work on my computer. I wish it did. But, oh, actually, I lied. I won't be hitting Dead Space 3 next. I will be doing the Dead Space Severed DLC. Yeah. Why not? You know? And then I'll do the Dead Space 3 and the Dead Space 3 DLC. Then I'm going to see if I can finish up Dark Souls. Because I'm about halfway through the game at this point with where I'm at now, I think. Depending. The storyline can go on Dark Souls for about 8 hours. Which you think is a small game. You'd think, oh, 8 hours of gameplay. Psh, that's not worth anything. Well, I bought the game when it was only $5. It's now back up to 15, but I bought the DLC back when it was $5. But games like Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2, they're fairly easy. Story time wise. But with difficulty curve and not really giving you a clue where you have to go, you kind of explore a little bit, you easily get lost. It's just the way it goes. So, I don't know how long these credits are. I hope not too long, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were long enough. Three o'clock in the morning. Unbelievable. Hmm. Wow. See, people knock on the Dead Space series because apparently Dead Space 3 wasn't up to par as 1 and 2 here, but the dog's awake. But Dead Space 3 did something that, even though it wasn't most of a horror generation in Dead Space 3, Dead Space 3 brought in a mechanic that Dead Space 1 and 2 here had never touched: weapon customization. Maybe in Dead Space 3, if I can get all the pieces, I will show my favorite weapon of all time. Oh my god. My favorite weapon in Dead Space 3 is just, with the right mods, I'm sure we'll see soon enough. Goes forever. I do like the audio that they had with this. So peaceful. All right.
This is Flight Team EG9 to Control. We have completed the flyby. There's nothing left. I repeat, Titan Station has been completely destroyed.
And the marker?
Negative. Nothing survived this, sir. Marker Site 12 is a total loss.
Pity. Recall all flights and return to base. The other sites will have to pick up the pieces.
Shit. Well, look forward to the next DLC. Severed.